pressure.
Got it. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another YouTube video. If this is your first time tuning into my channel, my name is Stef Ventura. I'm the Psychic Soul Empowerment Coach for men and women who want to reach their potential in life, manifest their big dream desires in life, and live a life just so much more fully, authentically, to the highest extent that they can. And so that's how I help people. I do very deep levels of shadow work, healing work, inner work to support my clients in being able to achieve these things. So long story short, right now it is February 24th, 6 p.m. roughly. And I had scheduled to chat with my friend here, Brittny, to tune in about, just catch up on some things. And she recently did a couple of videos for my communities. If you have not seen them yet, be sure to check them out. I'll put them up in the card section here on YouTube. But she did a class on discovering your worth and another one on reparenting your child. They were really amazing classes, full of so much value. I especially love the reparenting your inner child class. Like, I think our energy was just so aligned, so in sync. Like, we just worked beautifully together, and I love that. And so go check out those videos afterwards. But we were starting to talk about some stuff, and recently I've been chatting with my friends and saying like, oh my God, I need to do my conscious round conversations videos again. I need to do my conscious conversation videos and share some of these conversations that we're having, because I'm sure that they will benefit people in some way, shape, or form. So I asked Brittny, I told Brittny just now, and she was like, go ahead, hit the record button, let's do this. And so this is very impromptu. It's late in the day. My brain is kind of fried, but I'm just here chatting with my friend. And I really hope that you get something out of this conversation today. Any relevant links to Brittny's work will be in the cards or in the comments of this video. So if you want to stay connected with her, you'll be able to find her that way. But anyway, we're going to get into the conversation. Brittny, if you really want to quickly introduce yourself, go ahead and do so, and then we'll get back into our conversation.
Gotcha, boo-boo. What's going on, Awakened Ones? My name is Brittny Fontanez. I'm a intuitive shaman healer. I assist people in healing their inner child and actually discover deeper levels of healing, and also assist them on discovering deeper levels of their self-worth and self-love. And my whole purpose is just to assist people in awakening to their inner truth and understanding deeper levels of life and themselves. But other than that, I want to get into this conversation because this combo just got so juice. So
yeah, so what were we just talking about? Go ahead.
So I was talking about how I just got this new job, and we were talking about how we're learning to love ourselves and really allow that inner child to come to life again, because we never allowed ourselves to, we never been able to be a child. And now we're learning how to do that in adulthood. And so I was talking to one of my coworkers today, and he's talking about his relationships and stuff and how he felt lonely. And it triggered me to realize that I used to be just like that. I used to be very, very lonely. I didn't know how to spend time with myself. I didn't know how to enjoy my own time. How do I have fun with Brittny? How do I have fun with me? We're not taught to understand how to make ourselves a priority. And it showed me how much inner work I have done to recognize what people are going through, but to also to recognize the fact that it's okay to feel the way that we do, but we have to also honor the fact that we are a part of this entire journey. It's not about other people. It's not about, always being around people, always having validation, always being seen. It's about, are you seeing yourself? Are you allowing yourself to really discover who you are and what you want to do in life? And today I really enjoyed, I had such a blast today. I was being goofy. Like, I was just being that light I want to be to this world. And I love it, because when I did my morning meditation, I always ask divine, please help me see through the eyes like you see. Help me see that way. Help me see love in everything and everyone. And I started to, like, all day today, I really kept thinking, and I feel this will be beneficial for you guys, like, don't always rely on the outer world and what people tell you and what your parents tell you, because this is your life. You need to discover who you want to be and how you want to be and what you weren't allowed to be when you were a kid, and allow that to come to life, because your inner child is that joy, is that love that's going to get you what you want, and also just allow you to feel like you are worthy. And so, I really started thinking all day today, what would I want to do? Who do I want to be without needing the money, without needing the validation? Even if there wasn't any social media, no YouTube, no nothing, what would I want to do with my life if it wasn't, if there was no labels, no nothing? And I really thought about it. I'm like, I love what I do. I love who I am. I love the content that I create. I love doing healing. I love being the outcast. I love being the black sheep. I love being different because I realized that I have such an influence and impact on people more than I ever realized. And I really told myself today, it's like, this may sound cocky to you, but let's be real, you know, we are a blessing to this world. Our parents may have not seen that. We may not have seen that for a while, but now is the time to start seeing that because, yeah, no one's going to do it for you, but you got to recognize if divine created everything, even freaking mosquitoes. I can't stand those little fuckers. But if divine thought the world needed mosquitoes, of course it thought it needed one of us. So who are we going to allow ourselves to be? And that is very important during these times, because as the world shifts, and especially what's going on in the world currently, we need to step up. We need to have power. We need to own our sovereignty, because like we're the only ones who are going to change this world. And if you want this world to be different, you got to be that change, but you got to recognize, you know, what's been hidden for so long. Express that. Fuck what people say. Fuck it. You're gonna have people who don't like you even when you aren't doing good. So you might as well just be you. So that's what I want to say. That's how I felt today. But woo, I'm stop. I'm feeling myself.
Thank you for sharing. The reason that we got on this topic is just, we were just checking in, seeing how we were doing. And I shared how like I just got done dancing, and this is why I look right now like a mess, because I was laying on the floor tired, like, okay, I'm done, And I just started talking about how, I had so much fun laughing at myself. And Brittny was like, yeah, I started laughing at myself more, and this and that, and just like taking myself less seriously and this kind of thing. And sharing how, like Brittny pointed out to me through our conversation, like I'm over here describing myself as being serious, but she's like, I don't see you as serious, I see you more as stern. So then that gave me an opportunity to recognize, oh, this is a story I'm telling myself, that I'm serious and I think I'm serious, but at the same time, like I know I'm not. If you watch my videos on YouTube, like especially when you watch the March energy reading that's coming up, like I'm goofy as hell. And when I talk to my friends, I'm crazy. Like I send crazy voice messages to Brittny, to my best friends, close friends, Maggie, and I make them laugh. And I'm like, this is your daily chuckle or something like that. But at the same time, I've had this belief in my head, like I'm the serious one out of my friends, because when I was an adolescent, in my teenage years especially, my parents had gotten divorced. My mom was always working. I had 2 younger brothers. I've had a lot of responsibility on my shoulders from a very young age. And the adults around me didn't seem to know like what the hell they were doing, how to be parents. And so I basically had to be kind of like a mother and father to my brothers. And I always had to, and I'm a very committed individual. So I just kind of like, okay, let me take care of this. If you need something, I will take care of it. If I can do it, I will take care of it. You will not have to worry. You will not have to ask me twice. I don't like it when people tell me something more than once. Usually I'm just like, I already know, you told me. Aquarius, okay, you already told me. And so I'm just like this very disciplined, like, I don't know, person that I just get things done. And so from a very young age, I guess I've just had this belief in my head that I'm very serious, and have been telling myself that until today. And anyway, I was sharing with Brittny how in these last few years that I've been in business, I've definitely got a good handle on my masculine energy, because Brittny shared that she recognized, that what she appreciates in me is that I get things done. And I told her like, well, yeah, the last few years, since I started my business, I had to get a good grip on my masculine energy to get things done. And in the last couple of years, it's been that I've been leaning more into that feminine energy and learning how to have fun again, because if you had asked me a few years ago, I was like, how do I have fun? Like, I don't understand like how to have fun by myself, especially because I always thought I needed someone else to engage with, to connect with, to do something with in order to have fun. And that's very codependent, right? You need to be able to have fun on your own. and to enjoy your own company and find joy, just by yourself, living your own life. You don't need to have anyone or anything outside of you to tap into that fun, that joy that you want to experience. And so it's been in the last few years as I've actively practiced leaning more into my feminine and connecting more deeply with my inner child, like undoing a lot of programming and connecting more deeply to my inner child, who is carefree, who is full of joy, who is just living her best life and having fun and seeing like so much good. That, I've been able to feel that again and to experience that so much more in my day to day. And so now it's so much easier for me to, dance for like 45 minutes, try to learn a choreography, laugh at myself because I look ridiculous. And because I'm like running out of breath in like 5 minutes, I'm like literally doing like a whole little choreography for like 30 seconds. And I'm like tired, out of breath, by the end of it. I'm like, what is wrong with me? How can this person sing and dance, But I'm enjoying myself and I'm having fun that I can enjoy myself, because I couldn't do that. Like literally, it sounds ridiculous to say, but it's true. Like I had been so accustomed to being a little robot and being who I thought I was, living by my ego's perception of who I was, thinking like I got to do this and got to do that and just like this, and everything was just so like black and white, before. And now that I've been tapping more deeply into my feminine energy and connecting more powerfully to that inner child within me that just wanted to be free and have fun and enjoy life and experience pleasure. And I've been giving myself permission to do that and feeling worthy of doing that, because in the past, I didn't feel worthy. In the past, the reason I resisted all of this joy and this fun, this playfulness, was because I had limiting beliefs around that it was wrong, that I wasn't allowed to, that I shouldn't, that people would get mad at me, that I wasn't taking life seriously and being responsible and all this other crap. And so as I've worked through that, done the inner child work, I've been able to be who I truly am on a much deeper level. And life is just so much more enjoyable for me.
I love that. I love that so much. I just feel like right now, collectively, we're in a place where the feminine energy needs to be adopted, because it has nothing to do with gender, you guys. Just know we both have masculine and feminine energy within us. It's just we've been in that toxic masculinity where it's always hustle and bustle. We got to prove our worth. We got to prove ourselves. We got to take life so seriously to the point we become so rigid and so rooted in these routines and these. I love how you said choreography, because that's really what it is. We're like being this like state of choreography, and it's just like we're putting ourselves in a box, we're limiting ourselves, and it's like we have to express our heart, because we've been so in our minds and so focused on what's going to bring us happiness, when happiness is right here right now. It's with us. How can we find that? I love that we're talking about this, because yesterday I was doing like inner child healing and recognizing I was relying on external forces and energy to bring me that fulfillment. And all of a sudden I was like, you know what? I used to be into art. I used to draw. I used to paint. And then it brought me to this time where I made this project in school. This is how I know I have so much of an influence more than I'm recognizing myself, is because I remember in middle school, we had to do this project for science class, and we had to like, do something about the ocean. So what I did, I love this project. I forgot how much I enjoy doing crafts. And so I got a shoebox, and pretty much I ripped a square and on top of it, and I actually put plastic over it. But inside the shoebox, I made like the ocean, like put glitter and everything. What was the cool part was is I made little fishes and everything, but I put paper clips on it and like taped it, and then I stuck those paper clips to the top of the shoebox. And so when I put the lid on top of it, all of a sudden when you see through the little hole of the shoebox, it looks like you're looking in the ocean. And I'm like, damn, I'm so clever. And I'm like, wow, my inner child is so creative. She's so much fun. And I actually have a bag right here where I'm just gonna start making dream catchers after this. I was gonna do tarot readings, but I'm like, no, I wanna express myself. I want to be creative. And I've been telling myself I'm going to do this, and I've been ignoring it because all my responsibilities and stuff. And I'm just like, you know what? I started to realize I'm tired of who I used to be. I'm tired of always going hanging out with people who aren't even on my like level vibrationally. I'm tired of seeking a relationship when every time I do, I'm always repeating patterns. And I'm really starting to recognize being with self really teaches you a lot about life and other people. I don't know, in some weird way, it teaches you so much how to even be able to connect, because it's crazy how much we seek things outside of us and don't realize that we come onto this planet by ourselves and we're gonna excuse me, I'm busy. Okay. So we come to this planet by ourselves, we're gonna leave by ourselves. We need to really understand what is the purpose of why we're here and how to enjoy this life, because a lot of people take life so seriously and so sternly to the point it's just like they don't recognize the gifts around them. They don't recognize the gift that they are. And this is why they don't see the gifts of life. And I don't know where this is all coming from, but I just feel like it's time that we start adapting the feminine energy, because the feminine energy appreciates, just gives, just loves, doesn't need anything, doesn't want anything. It's just be, just be. And I think it's very important that I love how Steph like pointed out, she started laughing at herself. She wasn't judging herself. She was honoring the fact that she's doing the work to express what she felt like she wasn't worthy of. And it's important that we start recognizing this. It's important we start recognizing that we are worthy of loving life the way that it is, of loving what our heart desires, but loving ourselves, loving everything. Like, love is the only thing that's going to help us, save us, and transform this world. So, I don't know. I just felt like I need to say that. Oh, you're on mute. You're on mute.
My bad. It's because there were these little kids laughing and running around and stuff. So
See, there you
like,
go.
okay,
Confirmation.
yeah, synchronicity, but I'm gonna mute.
Sure.
uh, just so the people on the other end listening are disturbed or distracted in any kind of way. But I think it's interesting how you shared about like doing the things that you enjoyed as a kid again, and it's crazy because I've unintentionally kind of leaned into this much more like recently with getting really clear on my life and my goals and intentions for the year. And I created a schedule to make sure that my schedule included everything that was important to me, because I started talking to, I think it was Maggie earlier today when I was talking to her.
Right.
And I just told her, like, I just really got tired of my own BS around saying I didn't have enough time to dance, for example, or to master French or learn Korean or whatever, all these different things. And because of just how my activities unfolded throughout the day, it just seemed like I never had the time or something. So I decided to whip myself into shape and be like, no, there's plenty of time for all these things that are important to me. And so some of the things that I put on my schedule now is to have time to either read or color, on certain days, and have time to dance on certain days, and have time to practice French on certain days, and learn Korean on certain days. And I've been doing that this past week, and I've just been super proud of myself because it brings me joy. Like, I've been reading, and even though on my calendar I have like 2 days where I'm like, okay, either color or read during this time, I've seen that lately, like, I've been making time to read almost every day, regardless. Like during my breakfast, instead of watching some video on YouTube or Netflix or whatever, an episode on some kind of show, like I'm like, no, you know what? I'm gonna pull out this book and I'm gonna start reading it. And this has been a book that I've been intending on reading for the last couple of years since my friend gave it to me to like borrow. And I saw my friend the other day and I was like, listen, remember that book? I haven't forgotten it. I haven't stolen your book. I just haven't had time, but I'm gonna make time. And I got my schedule together, and I've been reading it every day almost since like the last week during breakfast, and I'm like 70 something pages in, and I'm just like, wow, and reading is something that I enjoyed so much as a kid. Like I'm an Aquarius, avid reader. Like my mom, every time,
I love learning.
Yeah, every time there was a book fair at school, I would come to my mom and be like, these are all the books I want. My mom would spend her good money getting me all those books, and I would get lost in my book reading. I would sit there and read and read. I could finish a 500-page book like in 2-3 days, because
Wow.
I love reading. But I haven't done it the last few years because I had switched into more of a like being an audio learner and putting videos on. And on top of that, I put the videos on like 2 times the speed. So I'm like, oh, come on, the information. But I realized like, no, I got to enjoy my life more. I got to slow down, even though my brain wants to take all this information in. I need to like slow down and enjoy and take this time to like read. It's a slower process. And at least for me, some people read really fast. I'm just like reading at regular speed. And it's been so enjoyable for me. Like being like, no, I'm going to read my book. Like, I'm going to read my book. Like, and even today, I think I had like some minor resistance around like, oh, get on that Netflix. It's like the little devil angel thingy here. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, no, I'm going to read my book instead. And legit, like the things for this one chapter that I read today were all around something that I'm addressing in my personal life. And it was like, almost every page in that one chapter had like a message for me. And I was like, God, like get out my face. I was like, get out my face, God, get out my face. Like, and so, yeah, I really enjoy reading. I've been making time to color, and it's just been really fun. And, I've been able to do these things though, because it's been a progressive journey of learning to embrace the true me again in so many different ways. Healing work in so many, like on so many levels in different areas of life, where I'm so much more tuned into who I truly am. And I'm naturally gravitating more towards old things that I used to do as a kid, and creating space in my day to actually be able to, do these things in my life to continue to feel more joy. So I think what I want to conclude, I guess, my little blurb or whatever on is like you said, life is not meant to be taken so seriously. Like, we're here to enjoy life. And sometimes we get too caught up in the day-to-day things, responsibility, work, relationships, or whatever. But it's really important to make time for ourselves and to make time for things that we enjoy doing genuinely. And if you can't remember what you enjoyed doing, think about when you were a kid and what you used to like to do back then. Like for me, I was reading, and recently, I think today or yesterday, I can't remember, I was reflecting and I was like, I really liked coloring as a kid. Like I would be obsessed with coloring nature, especially like the ocean. I would always draw whales and dolphins and fish. And this was something that I genuinely enjoyed. And I'm like, I have to take like a painting class at some point. Like my life has to be about doing things that genuinely bring me joy and that are a way of me expressing who I am, whether it be dance, whether it be coloring or painting or
I'm mad I'm not near you. We could go to paint night. I love paint night.
I really love painting, but right now I'm trying to get into a good flow and be consistent and then build up on that. So that's another thing. Don't overwhelm yourself trying to do it all.
True. That's another thing. Yeah.
So yeah, make time for yourself, do things that bring you joy. You don't necessarily need someone to bring you joy to make you feel like you're not lonely. If you want a relationship because you feel lonely, that's inner work you got to do, because that's codependency right there. And you're unconsciously, in a way, unconsciously trying to use a person just to, feed your own wounds and your own ego. And that's what you have to work through, and you got to learn to be good with your own company and create things from within, and that's when you really reclaim your sovereignty.
Facts. I'm gonna conclude with that. It's just I have one of these decks here. It's called Wild Offering. And one card that I love the most, it says, if you don't learn to love yourself, you're always going to, what is it? You're always going to make decisions based off of loneliness. Always. And it's like, I hate to say it, but that's a little toxic and that's unfair to the other person. That's unfair to you. So my conclusion to all of this is just like, find the reason why you should bring your inner child to life is because you got to find joy in your existence. And here's the thing, if you don't find joy and worthiness in your existence, you would never feel worthy or enjoyable in the tangible world. That's just a fact. You will never find no joy. Like me, for example, when I was in a relationship, I had good relationships. I didn't know how to keep them. I didn't know how to keep them because I didn't know how to appreciate life, because I didn't know how to appreciate myself, you know? So it's just like my conclusion here is like, don't think there's something wrong with you because you feel these certain ways. You feel this ways because there's work you need to do, because your inner child is trying to get your attention to help you recognize what is not true about yourself and start seeking truth, start seeking your truth, not your parents' truth, not society's truth. What is the truth of your heart, your soul, that part of you, like, that was so excited to come to this life, but it was like, it was manipulated. It was manipulated. I hate to say it that way, but we were all manipulated into believing these perceptions from other people. And then we build our identity off of that. And that our identity suppresses our soul. This is why a lot of people have spiritual awakenings, because that pain is just so pressurized. It's tired. Your soul is tired of the ego's demands. Your inner child is tired of being hidden. Your feminine is tired of not feeling vulnerable enough to love life and to experience it without needing to get to a destination. So, enjoy life, you guys. And if you don't know how to do that, set intentions to do that. Set intentions, Don't go asking advice. Don't go asking other people. Purposely stop distracting yourself, and on purpose care enough about yourself to the point that you love yourself more than your pain, so you can seek what it is that you truly, truly desire. So that's all I wanted to share.
Yeah, I want to add a few
Let's go.
things to that, because I can always talk, but I'm not trying to talk too much today, as I shared with
Yeah.
you, because I'm tired. But I was like, I feel like we're gonna start saying some really amazing things today, like we did the other day. And then I'm gonna be like, after the fact, be like, dang it, we should have recorded this. So anyway,
I'm glad I said record.
yeah, thank you. I really appreciate you being open and willing to recording this. Please, if you're watching on YouTube, let us know how you resonate with today's video. Oh, you know what I was thinking too, Brittny? I was like, man, I'm gonna do like this thing for Instagram. Brittny's basically gonna be all over my feed on Instagram. We should just get her account.
You already are. It's like, have you, she's on me without reading her email. She gets on me about that. And the other day I read her email, and I could have texted her on Instagram, but instead I emailed her back and said, I have read this email.
See, I posted on the stories too, saying like, when you pick on someone all the time about never reading your emails. I didn't want to tag you because I was like, I don't want to put her on blast.
Nah, that would have made me laugh. And I was
I need to be like, you need to be watching my stories.
I got proof now that I did read that email.
So now my next thing is going to be messaging you on Instagram like, hey, why aren't you watching my stories? You need to get on that too. No, just kidding.
Oh, here we go. Okay. So that means everything I post, you got to like now. I'm going to be on here.
I do like a lot of your things.
You know what? You're right.
I need to check if you like my things.
I'm slack. I've been called to be off of social media, only on YouTube. It's because like I compare myself too much to people. Yeah. So I'm like trying to lean away from that and really tune into myself more and be on YouTube, because YouTube, I could really express myself. I put a short the other day, a short video, and it got over 3,000 views.
That's amazing.
Like, and it was like, I got some comments that were just like, you should get slapped. But I had some comments that I'm glad that I was assisting, because I took inspired action.
That's good.
And I feel like Instagram is not really like allowing me to express myself, because it's like, if you notice, social media is really trying to close people off who are trying to express, helping the collective awaken, and like only showing like arrogance and stuff like that. So YouTube is really more of a bigger platform. But overall, like I'll try my best to look at your
with you. But no, I get
She's
it.
serious. Don't let her fool you. She's serious. Low key.
But anyway, back to the conversation, friends. We were talking about inspired aligned action. And, I guess the reason maybe we're coming forward to talk about this is because there's probably like a huge pull for people to tap more deeply into who they truly are, to their souls. I've been talking about this for years on my channel. There's tons of videos, playlists that you can check out of my past work. But, there's a inner part of you that's really wanting to be seen and felt and heard and expressed, and wants to break free from the confines that we have unconsciously put it in. And so we're all being called to tap into our souls in different ways and to express more of who we truly are. And right now we're talking about tapping into who we truly are in the sense of our inner child who wants to feel fun and express its creativity and enjoy and laughter and all that jazz. And so if you don't know where to start on that, again, inspired action, like what have you been feeling pulled to do lately? Is it to take some kind of dance class? Is it to go and buy yourself some painting supplies? Like our friend Maggie a few weeks ago she had like this little art set or thing or whatever in her Amazon cart for like a week or something. And when we were talking about this inner child stuff, she was like, you know what, I'm gonna go buy it now. Because because it was something that was kind of nagging in the back of her head, like, come on, do this. So maybe you lately have been feeling pulled to listen to music more, to even maybe start writing your own lyrics. Like I know for me, when I was in middle school, I used to love like doing my own songs. Like I don't know how, like I would remake songs that I liked, like popular like raps or whatever, but I would, with the same like little beat and whatever, but I would put my own words to it. And I loved doing that, like spitting out my lines. And so maybe you feel called.
Let me find out you got some bars. Let me find out.
Let
me find out.
Back in the day, but you never know. I mean, I do have a gift for speaking, so, but maybe you feel called to do something like this, and maybe your mind is like, what's the point of that? There's no point of doing that, because we've been trained to always do things in order to gain something, in order to move forward in some kind of way, right? Have something tangible or whatever it is, to like produce something from it, otherwise it's like a waste of time, right? This is what's been drilled into our heads. And it's like, just do it because you want to, because you've been feeling pulled to, because it's going to bring you joy. And like, as soon as you allow yourself and give yourself permission to do these things, and you start getting in sync with it, and you start really enjoying yourself and flowing, like that's going to open up the doors for so many other things to start flowing into your life. But you have to be willing to take that step. You have to take that inspired aligned action. So whatever has been kind of in the back of your brain or has been catching your eye lately, or that you've just been thinking about lately around doing something fun, something, just for yourself, like go ahead and do that. Go enjoy yourself, go have fun, live your life. Because, I am obsessed with death. I have a Scorpio moon and all kinds of other crazy things in my chart, I guess, that have made me obsessed with death. And I contemplate death from time to time. I go deep into watching videos on near-death experiences every so often.
I love those. Love those.
Yeah. And what I've really gathered from conversations that I've seen online about this, or people giving their testimony around this, is like, at the end of the day, you review your life, and what really matters isn't necessarily like all your achievements, like physical, tangible achievements. What matters is like the connections you made, or the things that you were able to really enjoy and experience here. That's what you really mostly take away. And so some people look down on their lives and they're like, man, I was like really serious, or I never allowed myself to enjoy myself.
That's why they have a lot of regrets.
Yeah,
people don't go after what they want.
Yeah. And so, but they're seeing themselves from the spirit realm, while they're there and observing, and then seeing like what they're quote unquote, like not doing right, I guess, or like how they're not living in alignment with who they truly are. And then when they come back to earth, then they're like, you know what, I'm gonna make change. Like my life is too precious. I don't like saying life is too short, because I don't want to keep speaking that into existence for anyone. So I like saying my life is too precious to continue to live in this way. And I'm not going to take it for granted. And I'm going to choose to stop taking it seriously and enjoy my life more, and make times, even if it's like 5 minutes, you don't even have to commit like a whole bunch of time. Like I know for me, maybe if you have high expectations, like I especially have an issue with this. I've shifted out of it a lot, but sometimes it's still a reoccurring thing for me to have like ridiculously high expectations. And So like old me would be like, okay, I need to dedicate like a whole hour to dancing, you know? And
It's sweet,
like,
just like that.
yeah, it's the intensity of my Capricorn energy, all this Capricorn that I have too as well.
The
So
Capricorn sun, I know.
so, but you know, you don't even have to dedicate that much time to it. It can be 15 minutes, it can be 20 minutes. Like on my calendar that I've created, I have set an hour for just dancing. But today I danced for about 45 minutes and I was tired. And I just said, you know what? Okay, this is not fun anymore. Like I'm tired now. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm going to lay down on the ground before I have to talk to Brittany to rest, you know? And I just stopped. And so if I want to go the whole hour, I can. If I want to go less than that, I can. But the point is that I'm taking action on that in some way, shape, or form. The other day, I was behind on things on my little calendar schedule and I didn't get to my hour thing, but I had 15 minutes and I was like, you know what, even if it's just 15 minutes, I don't care. I'm still going to do it because I'm wanting to shift into this version of me that makes time in her day to live her best life, you know? And so it's a practice that I'm developing and you know, becoming much more comfortable and familiar with day after day. So, you know, this is something that all of you can start doing in your lives is like, what is that one thing that you've been feeling pulled to do to bring more joy in your life, to express your creativity, to be connected to that inner child of you that just loved life and was playful and carefree and enjoyed themselves. Maybe you like writing jokes, maybe you like video editing and being creative in that way, or just there's so many ways to express that inside of yourself, and just dedicate a few minutes to start with and build up after on that, and just see where it takes you, you know, and enjoy it. And the more that you lean into your true self-expression, the more that you feel joy and you have a zest for life again, the more that all these other opportunities can open up for you.
And little do you know, I want to add to that, little do you know, the more that you go and listen to the inspire actions of what brings you joy, the more you're actually on your divine path that's going to lead you to what is divinely meant for you. It's crazy when you start to get in sync with your divine, with your blueprint. It's like spontaneity is out of nowhere. It's just like that's when miracles start expressing themselves because you're already living in that high life. You're not even wanting anything because you feel so joyful. Then all of a sudden, what's meant to be in your life comes to you because you're in that vibrational state of being that version of yourself your heart desires. And something's wanted me to share this before, we end this recording, is that my spiritual advisor, I love her highly. I highly suggest to go follow her. She's called Divine Purpose. She used to be a model. She used to be in the fashion industry, but she stepped into her spiritual journey. And, she's helped me along my shadow work and really develop self-love and tapping into my feminine energy. And I love what she says, and I want to share it with you guys. She says, Brittny, the purpose of life is not finding your purpose. The purpose of life is to be happy. And your mission, that's what you're meant to do, but that's different. Your purpose is to be happy. And I feel what I've taken from that is that it's not about being someone. It's already just about being myself, being who I feel that is good enough, that I feel that divine thought I was good enough. I used to be so hard on myself, always pressure myself to get things done to the point I never felt accomplished, no matter what I have done, to the point I'm always looking at where I need to go rather than how far I've come. And because of this, I try to control life so much that I cause my own misery. And when you try to control your journey, you will be miserable because you're not allowing yourself permission to surrender, just to give up the labels, give up what you think you need to do to earn, and start realizing, okay, if I'm worthy of all this air to breathe, if I'm worthy of this beautiful sunlight, if I'm worthy of all these little things that I have, then what makes me worthy of all this? What makes me worthy of all this? What makes me worthy of just allowing all this to bring me happiness, And we need to start questioning, why are we putting these labels on ourselves? Why are we limiting ourselves? And start realizing, like, I feel the reason why we all were taught not to be happy, because that's the quickest way that our power is taken. And joy, the whole point of this life is to enjoy it. And what happens when there's joy? Our vibration goes up. When our vibration goes up, we're on our path, and we're on our path. We learn our truth. We start creating the rules. We start reframing the world the way that we feel is best, not what's best for others. So, the whole point is that for me, my intentions this year my purpose is just to be happy. And that is the best version of myself. When I do what I love, that's the best version of me. I love making content. I love editing. My thumbnails are on point. I don't care. I have some dope ass thumbnails on
You
YouTube,
do.
yo. Like, I have some dope ass thumbnails. Like, I have to give myself that. But also my personal intentions for this year to bring me more joy is that I bought myself a keyboard, like, not last year, the year before that, when it has like a drum pad on it, and I could hook it up to like a studio, what is it, on my computer, so I can make my own music. And I feel called to do that. And like, I already put one of my new songs up on Instagram. I already have a SoundCloud, and it's like I'm feeling called to start producing music because I love music. And what I started doing now, what I loved doing as a kid, I love visualizing. I
It's
love
like,
vis-
oh, wait.
I love visualizing and listening to music. And that's what I want to do. I want to be a director. I have all these, I could literally listen to a song and make a music video like that. And it's just now I spend time, like, even like she said, if it's 5 minutes, 15 minutes, I'll lay on my bed, I'll relax, I'll surrender life, and I'll listen to my favorite songs, and I'll just go at it to the point sometimes I like to get out of bed and I start fucking dancing. I'll be like, let's get it. Let's get it. So it's just like, you know, it's time to change it up, you guys. It's really time to, like, there's a certain way I want to say it, but I don't know how to say it because I feel like I freaking repeat myself. But sometimes you just don't know how impactful you are because you just feel like, oh, I'm tired of listening to myself. I get like that sometimes. I'm like, I'm tired of listening to myself. But other than that, you guys, just the intention is that just know your purpose is to be happy in this world. It really is. And like, if you can't find happiness within this world, then that is the only mission that you have to focus on. The only mission is to find your joy. And when you find your joy, then behind that, you can create bigger meaning and bigger purpose with that. So, stop being so hard on yourself and realize that, we all came into this world. We were not allowed to be a child. Now let ourselves be a child after we take care of our responsibilities. Just plain and simple.
Yeah, I love that so much. You said a number of things. One of the things I want to say is like, maybe have to rename one of my courses because I really love the difference that your mentor shared between purpose and mission. I was like, that's so true. So spot on. I have a course called Discover Your Soul's Purpose. I'm like, discover your soul's mission.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Our true purpose really is to be happy, is to be who we truly are, is to love one another. Like, that's what it really comes down to at the end of the day. And we have certain things that, yeah, we're meant to do in this life, but sometimes we give way too much importance to the earthly material realm, and we neglect everything else that really truly matters to us on a deep soul level. And so that's a journey for everyone to, I guess, go on. But also what I wanted to share is what you said about, I don't remember exactly how you said it, but it was around being who you truly are and not forcing yourself to think that, especially in business, to do things a certain way, to show up a certain way, et cetera, et cetera. And it's interesting that you brought that up because there's someone in my Facebook community who posted, like a personal vulnerable share around having certain frustrations with business and how things are going. And I replied this morning saying, like, what I appreciate you sharing, et cetera, et cetera. And what you're actually going through is a bunch of ego deaths right now because your ego is so stuck on, this is how I'm supposed to do things to get XYZ results or whatever it is. And you're not surrendering to your soul, and your soul is trying to lead you down a path that's going to feel so much more authentic and effortless, and it's going to be more successful for you. And I gave them some exercise on like how to go about discerning that and breaking free from the ego, because when you're in that stage, like I went through that last year, especially, where basically for me, I had to undo a lot of what I thought I was and what I thought I needed to do and how I thought I was supposed to show up and all these different things, and like figure out who the hell am I really all over again. and
Yeah.
and it was crazy and intense. And so for my wisdom and knowledge and experience, I like helped this person. Hopefully they hopefully did what I said to make their journey easier. But that's the thing, is like, you know, no matter what you do, whether it's business or in your relationships or your career, work, whatever it is, exercise, like it's all meant to come from a place of pure enjoyment. And
Mhm.
anytime you think you're supposed to be locked into something, like this is how it's supposed to be, like that's your ego. That's you putting yourself into a box and not realizing it. That's you robbing yourself of potential joy and happiness that you could potentially be experiencing. And so recognize that. And as you move about your day, and do what you really want to do, what will bring you joy, what will bring you bliss, but just feel good to you, you know, and let that lead you forward. So that's just what I wanted to leave that there.
Hey, I want to share this before we go, because like I got this deck called Spiritual as Fuck cards, and they're funny as hell. This is like the top of the deck. I was shuffling, and then I stopped and I was like, how dare you, spirit, be correct. But worrying is a negative prayer. You don't need any of that kind. What was it? Anxiety. I can't pronounce some of these
Anxiety.
words. Huh?
Anxiety.
It's not anxiety. It's angsty? Angsty?
Angst.
Angst. There we go. Thank you. Nail biting bullshit today. If you catch yourself worrying, take a deep breath and ask the universe for what you really want, not what you don't want. The universe always lets you change your order. And hell yeah, you want fries with that? Supersize that shit.
Is that what it really says?
It really says that. I'm dead serious. These cards are so funny, you guys. It really says that.
It's a little bit blurry, but yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I love that. So yeah, you know, I really hope that this helped whoever received it. I mean, this was totally impromptu. Look at how we're sitting right now.
Yeah, like we're just
Look
chilling
at our
right now.
hair.
We were supposed to be like 30 minutes and now we're in an hour. It flew. It flew. See how much we're enjoying ourselves to the point it's like an hour passed by?
This is what
Okay.
we're talking about. You see, we're
Mm-hmm.
doing something we enjoy, which is like talking about spiritual stuff and life. And we love this. It brings us joy.
It does. I love getting deep with people. When people talk to me, they're like, oh, I like this. And then we just keep growing. Like today, a lot of people in my job, they're like, you're so easy to talk to. And I'm like, because there's so much to discover about life, about self. So, find fun in that. I find enjoyment in talking about stuff like this, like I love it. I love it. And I love Steph because, we just vibe, yo. We just
Yeah,
vibe. So,
I love it. So thank you everyone who tuned in. I really appreciate you. I really hope that you got something out of this. Please let us know what you did get out of this video today, this conversation today, Conscious Conversation. I think that's the name of the series that I started last year or the year before, but we took a break on that, but we're reviving it. So we're here now, better than ever. And let us know in the comments, like what fun activity you plan on doing moving forward to create more joy, more fun, more playfulness in your life moving forward. Share with us below, or share with us what you're currently doing, or just any insights or breakthroughs or realizations that you had from this conversation about yourself, and maybe where you need to make certain shifts in your life and how you're going to get started. So we would love to hear from you. And that's basically it. So please give this video a thumbs up, a like, wherever you're watching from, to let us know that you enjoyed this, that you got value out of it. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet already. Hit the subscribe button and change your settings to all, so that you always get notified of a new video. And again, like I said, to connect with Brittny, I'll put her information in the comments below, and her channel in the cards as well. And that's basically it. So thank you so much for your time. We'll see you in another video. Bye.
deuces.